Hey guys, my name is Tyson, or you can call me TJ, and we got a new car in the shop. This is actually my sister's car, Ford Focus, and my sister states that there is some problems with the car, so we don't really know what it is yet, so we're gonna ask her how the car is acting. So I'll go interview her now. Alright, so what have you been noticing with the car lately?
Well, lots of times it will wander around the road. There's quite a bit of a wobble that I noticed, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah, we'll have to investigate. We'll get it solved. We'll get your car back to normal.
Sounds good.
Alright, you can go now. Thanks for the interview. Let's fix your car. We're gonna just see if there's any wobble. I mean, that one obviously is not gonna wobble very much. It seems pretty sturdy. Because if it does wobble, it's probably the tire rod or something this side. Oh wow. Yeah, it's actually clunking. I can actually wobble the whole tire. Yeah, if it's wobbling back and forth, that usually means the tie rod bushing is wearing out. So we're probably gonna have to end up getting some new tie rods for this car. Alright guys, we got the wheels off now. We can really see. You can see how this thing's not moving, but in here it is. You can also hear it clunking around. So this bushing's obviously gone. So what we're gonna have to do is replace this thing, which is the outer tie rod. Alright guys, before we take this thing off, we're actually gonna measure how far it is threaded on for the other one. So we can put the new one on at the exact same distance. We're actually gonna measure from the boot of the outer tie rod to the center of the bolt on the inner tie rod, and it's 11.5 inches. That's this side, and then we'll measure that on the other side as well, so we know what to put it at for the new tie rods. All right, we're gonna use some penetrating oil to get this bolt off, because otherwise it's probably not gonna come off. After a bit of struggling, finally got it loose, and now I can just thread it off. Oh, I didn't even notice it actually comes with a jam nut. You screw it against the outer tie rod to keep it from rotating, and he kind of squishes it together. So we're actually just gonna thread that back in all the way to the end, because the new one doesn't come with one. So the new one actually comes with a grease nipple, which is nice. The old one actually never had one, because it's factory and they just seal up their things, so you basically can't maintenance your parts. I'm just gonna put that on, and then we can just set it back on. And then we'll have to measure it to get it to the exact spot. In order to center it in the hole, because it's not actually centered right now, it's sitting at an angle, we're gonna have to push this up from the bottom. That's why I'm using the jack. Hold up, did you hear that? That's the sound of me slightly over torquing and actually snapping the stud on the new tie rod. Basically, we should have looked at the specs to see how much torque these nuts actually need, but instead we just kind of cranked on it till it broke. Alright guys, so we did kind of end up breaking the old new tie rod replacement that we had. So we ended up having to buy a new tie rod. So that's what we got here. Yeah, we're just going to slap this thing in there so we can get on to the other side. This time we actually looked up how much foot-pounds of torque needs to be on this thing. Yeah, we looked at the torque spec in the manual and it said it needed to be 37 foot-pounds. So yeah, just make sure you look up your torque before you do what we did and break a brand new tie rod. So I'm just gonna torque it down and we have it all set up, ready to go. All right, time to tighten the jam nut back on. You're actually just gonna go the other way until it's tight with the tie rod like that. And then it should be good to go. Alright guys, on to the other side.
My time just thinking about what I should be thinking of. And it's about time that I get. Hey, stop staying in the same bed. I need a kickstart just to change this. I don't wanna waste a minute on the basics, but it's keeping me feeling so amazing. Stop, run, stretch, brush my hair, always looking like a mess. Oh, and maybe I could go and do the rest. Give it a little more thought, I'll be set. And I hope that you'll miss it. I stay like now when I'm stuck in my bed. Day and night, never feeling the best. I know, oh well, but Yes, I know I'll be the same.
Alright guys, that about wraps it up. If you're interested in watching more on my sister's car, watch this video here. We actually did a wheel rotation on it. Pretty helpful, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.